These are all individual federal student loans?
No.
They're all from Sally Mae.
We had to split payments between my father and I. So I pay a portion and he pays a portion.
Why does your dad pay?
Because they're the ones that took it out to begin with.
They're co-signed under him.
Oh, they're co-signed.
Yeah.
And I think the total minimum monthly payments are around $2,000
a month.
A month?
I have nothing against the arts. I have nothing against the arts, but this is not the way to do it.
I know.
They don't have internet in 2023. They run everything off a hotspot. That hotspot ran 3 megabits down.
It operates my phone, her computer.
Only when you're there.
And a smart TV.
Only when you're there.
What if she wants
That's
to be
true.
on the internet?
Well, she's out working a lot most of the time, so
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't really
what
matter.
if you're at work and I'm at the high
Then she just comes over to where my work is because that's my parents' house and that has Wi-Fi.
Lucy, welcome back to the Financial Audit follow-up channel. Your episode was uploaded on August 28, 2023. It got a lot of views. Congratulations on that one. Now, you were newlywed with your husband, Brandon, located out of Maryland, and he kind of worked in some interesting family business dynamic with some choo-choo trains, and then you're a high school art teacher, and at that point you were making $44,800 and he was making $28 an hour, 40 hours a week. But again, it was a bit weird, and that was with his assisting income. Now, we had student loans, we had credit cards, but this was we're coming into a marriage and there was this debt across the board. Things were a bit confusing. We were trying to figure it out. But I hear there has been, a relatively major change in the dynamic of what's going on in life. So I'll allow you to give us a rundown.
This past Sunday, when this is recorded, would have been our first year anniversary. However, a couple months ago, we separated and are going through a divorce. One thing led to another. We just realized we're not, I guess, politely to say we weren't compatible. But there was a lot of circumstances and situations that led up to that point. Money was definitely a sore subject, and some other components too. June was a very stressful month, let's just put it that way. I have had to relocate out of his parents' house. We had moved back to his parents' house in February, believe it or not, after our lease went up. Yeah. I then moved out in June, found an apartment, currently living there, if you cannot tell. And he actually got a different job, but still technically works with his family job. I helped him get that job also.
Oh.
Yeah. I knew the manager, and I put his application to the front.
Oh, weird.
So
I'm sorry you're going through this. I'm sorry for both of you guys, because obviously, no one would ever encourage or root for a divorce unless something.
No.
It was just crazy. How long were you guys dating before you guys got engaged?
We were together since 2018.
What started showing up and you don't have to go, it's completely up to you what you decide to say, but what ended up showing up that was not there while you guys were dating and engaged, that showed up in less than a year of marriage?
It was more about he really wanted me to learn how to drive stick. That was the root of a lot of arguments. Don't ask me why. You met him. You met him. He's a car guy. And I have bad anxiety. And me shifting down and being anxious and not catching the gear with the clutch, he got angry, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Another problem was money. Money was probably the biggest root. Him also thinking I should earn more money because I have a master's degree.
I mean, maybe you should earn more money for your education level, but is that an attack you type of thing? It should be more of a I want you to earn more money. Let's figure out a way to make more money, not a you should be making more money. What's wrong with you type of thing. So
it wasn't like that. It was more the school that I work at, it's in a different county on the other side of Baltimore City. And the commute was rough, and he wanted me home, obviously. I'm also working a lot of hours. Teachers work a lot of hours, even if it's at the school or off the school. So there was the gas, burning a lot of gas, not coming home at a reasonable hour so that I could go walk the dog and then take care of chores and stuff. Yeah, there was a lot that
Okay.
built over time, and some other circumstances too.
Obviously, we're only getting your perspective from this, so this is I'll just say that,
I'm trying to be general too.
which I appreciate. Sounds like there was some compatibility issues that just didn't really make sense to be married in the first place. But at the time of filming, he was in charge of your and the couple's finances. So
Yes, he was
how?
very much in control of that.
Yeah, and a lot of people saw that in the comment section. By the way, as you probably saw, just some controlling things. A lot of people commented on that. And of course, I'm not. I don't want to say, gosh, I want to be delicate, because what do I say? Oh no, I don't know. Just people who are commenting on it, but I don't want to say like someone's a bad person. Like I just don't like that. I don't like saying that someone's a bad person. So.
I don't either. I don't like saying that either, because he had good qualities too. I think he also had expectations of me being a certain person in comparison to what he grew up with, because we had two different family lifestyles. I grew up in a dual income with both my parents working full time ever since I could remember, and he grew up in a more traditional household. So there was that miscommunication as well that we couldn't get past.
He wanted a trad wife.
Yeah, I remember reading the comments too, and they were not kind to him at all. And I was probably one of the few times where the curtain kind of came down, or like moved away in a sense, to the realization of my situation.
The show works in mysterious ways. Yeah. Well, Brandon, I'll give you open invitation, and I know I see you on the Discord all the time as well, and you've been cheering other people on, and I am very happy for that. But feel free to share your side of the story. We're always welcome to have you on here as well. Not going to start any beef, not going to start any battle or anything like that between you guys. That's not how we want to do things. But we would love to see how your situation is, and I'll make sure to shoot you a DM as well, or an email, and just does he know you're on here?
I did not tell him. And
should be interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I have since separated entirely from him. So all financial, all jobs, everything. Like, I'm not living off of him at all.
Was it a pretty toxic separation?
How much do I want to share?
Well, yeah, be careful. I don't want you to say too much. Yeah.
It became an unhealthy situation for me mentally. So walking away was very difficult and very necessary.
Sure. Okay. So obviously, you had a lot of student loans, and then he had some credit card debt kind of going into the marriage. What does the debt situation look like today?
Last time I checked, it was 119 something.
So like the student loans then. So that's what we're still sitting on, is the student loans?
Yeah. He put a lot of money into it, and I guess that's another route. Like, he felt like I owed him or something. I don't know. He did put a lot of money into it and helping with that, and held that over me.
I don't like that, but
that debt really put a damper on our relationship, I think.
And it is a substantial debt. It is at $119,000 of Sally Mae. Like, and Sally Mae's a bitch, so it was at
like 180 something, I think.
Yeah, I had it at 167,000.
Yeah. And
there were minimum monthly payments, $2,000 between you and your parents. So now how is that going?
My dad has since taken over a little bit. He's motivated to retire, and he can't retire until that is paid off. So
why? Wait, is it under his name as well?
He's a co-signer.
That's right. Gosh.
Yeah, he's a co-signer. So he's making, I don't want to get into it a little bit, but I know he's making strides to get it paid off so he can retire in like a year or two.
This is wild. How old is he?
He just turned 64.
Are you contributing at all to help pay it off even quicker?
I have no money. I'm barely surviving on my own. I only have 1 month's rent in savings.
What are you making right now?
Starting September, I will be able to make $45 a year before tax. And I just got promoted to be department chair. And I'm also picking up a part-time job at a craft store. So it would be like supplemental. I had my first month free, so I basically put as much as that I could be making in July to set aside for that, to have at least 1 month off, 1 month rent in savings.
You're still teaching art.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know as much about the art world as the music world, but a lot of in the music world, what a lot of teachers do after school make supplemental income, but also help their students or teach private lessons. Are you able to do like art lessons or something on the side? Is that a thing?
It's not quite the same thing.
Yeah, I assumed it wouldn't be like the same thing, but I assume, yeah, because obviously you wouldn't need like weekly lessons or anything on that, and they wouldn't be
It
less.
would be more of like a class in a sense, and then there's curriculum that you have to develop, and it be a lot more work.
Are you in the same area as your parents, your family?
Well, I'm in different counties. We're in the same state, but we're different counties.
Are there better pay opportunities in that area? In that,
I'm sure it's a private school. That's why the pay is so low.
why are you committed to it then?
I don't have a teaching license.
Oh, me.
I don't have a teaching license. I can only work in the private area until I get that license, and then see where I go from there.
Where are we, if at all, near getting a teaching license?
I am going to be starting that process probably this year. I have a link with my principal.
Oh, so 4 years-ish?
Yeah, but I'm also going to be very adamant about not paying for it because school needs to pay for that because I can't. If I'm going back to school, I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, sure, but they're also only paying you $45,000 a year in not a cheap area, so we'll see what they're willing to. I heard you guys wanted to get dirty again. Dirty Money is back, and this time you're gonna be a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. And you know who you usually meet in those sheets? I'm personally into BBWs, budgeting, bonds, wealth. And this sexy merch is only available through the end of this month, and then it's going away. So to give you a little extra sweet treat, we're bringing back the classic Dirty Money as well. BDSM, sluts for index funds, finance daddy. If this isn't for you, you can eat my assets because I am myself an assets man. Go to calebhammer.com/dirty to check it out before these designs go away at the end of this month. And as an extra special sweet treat, every order over $100 gets your favorite asset signed and framed, the Hammer Dump Truck. Okay, yeah, these student loans are insane. They're at like 14% interest rate here, 14.6 there, 13 something there. Yeah, these are horrendous rates, sitting all the way up. Okay, so you have 1 month's rent save, $45,000 a year, making some supplemental income on the side. What do we think will be hitting our account after taxes on a monthly basis?
I don't know. Right now, it's only because I'm still paying his deductible or on him on his insurance. I'm getting that figured out as soon as the legal work is official.
Best guess.
What?
Best
it's
guess.
probably going to be anywhere between $1,200 or $1,300, I think. I don't know. I can't because it might be $3,000 or under $3,000 a month.
Oh, did you mean per paycheck?
Per paycheck, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say.
I know it's going to be somewhere in the threes, but that doesn't. But they also kick out like health insurance and my retirement.
Yeah. Well, retirement, I would only be. Well, it's a private school system. So, what are they offering there in terms of retirement?
Like they take like a portion, like a percentage out or something.
Well, yeah, but let me make sure. It's similar to a 401k, like 403b or.
Yeah.
457b, but like I'd contribute the minimum that you can. I don't know what exactly that school offers. You know, if there's any type of match or anything like that, I would just do the minimum you can because you were just not surviving. And also your dad's entire retirement is based on paying off your debt that you went to for school for a degree you're not using, kind of, because you're trying to be an educator and you're going to go back and get the degree you need to use in order to do the job you want to do. I think we're not contributing as much for your retirement right now while we have that like over $100,000 in horrible student loan debt. Let me look at your checking account. $197 in there.
That again was the month where I was in the process of separating and pulling my money away from his money, and I had to reroute my paychecks essentially. And there was like 2 weeks in that month where I didn't have like a debit card because I had to reorder it.
And by the way, on the 403B, like usually they don't really have matches. Sometimes they can, but it's usually less substantial and less common to have a match than like a 401k. I would take it if there is, and if there's nothing, I would just contribute literally the minimum that you can. What's Giant Eagle?
Grocery store.
Michael's, DoorDash, Dollar Green. We're definitely not doing that. Again, pizza, we're not doing that.
It wasn't pizza. It was either extra items that I needed for the apartment or
Polly's New York Pizza isn't pizza?
Oh, that was pizza, yes. But DoorDash was like utilities, stuff for the...
I'm on your side as just a fellow human being on this earth. I want you to do well. I want to help you get there. I start to lose a little bit of sympathy when your dad is paying off the debt and we're getting pizza. It was one purchase. And the rest were kind of just some school supply stuff, looking at it, dissecting like, is this 100% a necessity or is this more of a want? Because obviously I wanted to be a teacher for a while. I wanted to deck the out of my space. I wanted to make it as cool as possible for my students and give them every opportunity. As we're just looking at what is 100% a need versus like would be really nice to have. It's just like when your dad is literally putting off retirement to pay off your debt, we're not doing it. Wow. Okay. Well, you didn't really spend that much money. I know I freaked out about the pizza and that a little, but I mean, there's not honestly much to freak out about. So you're not getting summer pay, are you?
I do get paid in the summer.
What's your rent right now?
It is $11.42. That's including some utilities.
I mean, it's at the max end of your rent, but it's in the affordable price range. So I'm a little confused. If you're not paying anything towards debt, what is this? So what are you making right now through the summer compared to what you're going to be making in September?
I picked up 2 jobs for the summer.
Okay.
One was in the same place that I helped get him the job. I didn't realize what was going to happen this summer. And then I also did a camp for 3 weeks. And
so at this point, now we can start thinking September right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And we can start thinking of what our budget looks like there. Because we're thinking $3,000, conservatively comes in. I think you're going to have a little more than that because I don't think you're going to be taxed super heavily. And you'll have your health insurance and other things like that, but minimal to no retirement contributions at this point, depending on the match, with let's say $1,300 going to rent and utilities, right?
Roughly,
yeah. Okay. And $300 for groceries, which you can with a meal prep, just with meal prepping, just being really smart. And of course, this pays before you take any supplemental income up on the side. Is there, do you have pets? Okay, so no pet insurance, no pet food. That's good. 100 for TP fund. Minimum monthly payments. You're not minimum monthly payment on anything because your dad's paying the student loans. Okay. So you said you have 1 month's rent saved up. So you're saying on the side you have about like, like $1,100?
Roughly around there, yeah.
No car bill?
No, car's paid now.
Car insurance you pay for?
Yes.
How much?
It's going to be $85 currently.
That's great. How much in gas?
Gas is so expensive in this area. Now, coming to September, it should be much cheaper since I'm not driving 40 miles a day. Probably like $200 to $300.
Okay, I'll say 300. Call an extra 200 for anything I'm forgetting. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, even there, you still have an extra $750, and that's honestly me being very conservative with how much money is going to be coming in after taxes and how much money, and that's without taking any supplemental income. Honestly, you probably have an extra $1,000, I'm going to call it. So with $1,000, what I would be doing, I'd focus on you starting your new independent life, saving up $13,500 as quick as possible. You already have $1,100. We're now going to divide it by 1,000. So in a year's time from now, start a school year to the beginning of next school year, I want to have your fully funded emergency fund at that point. And then what I would do from there, as a full-time creator, I can tell you creating engaging videos takes a lot of time and effort. From scripting to editing, the whole process can be a headache. But that's where InVideo AI comes in. With InVideo AI, you're in the director's seat while the AI acts as your co-pilot, taking care of all the heavy lifting. InVideo AI is the world's most used AI video creator with over 10 million users in more than 150 countries. It's the only tool I found that lets you control every aspect of your video using simple text prompts. So here's how it works. To start, you enter in a detailed prompt. For example, create a YouTube short going over how to budget with a $4,000 a month salary. InVideo AI will generate a rough draft based on your input.
Are you tired of wondering where your money goes every month? Let's break down how to budget $4,000 a month.
If you need to make changes, it's as easy as typing. You can add subtitles, change the voiceover, or even modify the intro with just a few text commands. Want to change the language to French? Done.
Hi, we was in NDSNB. Aidez-vous demander d'où passe votre argent chaque mois? Voyons comment gérer un budget de $4,000 par mois.
Need better footage for a scene? Done. It's that simple. And here's the game changer. InVideo AI can clone your voice. Imagine creating videos in your own voice without having to record anything. This feature alone saves you time and money, making video creation more accessible and efficient. Once you're happy with your video, you can export it without watermarks and with access to high-quality stock footage. This comprehensive tool replaces the need for multiple apps, saving you hundreds of dollars each month. So if you're serious about upping your video game, try InVideo AI. Plans start at just $20 a month, and you'll get access to millions of royalty-free stock footage clips, voice cloning, and more. Scan the QR code on screen or check out the link in the description and use my code Financial Audit 50 to get 2 times the number of video generation credits in your first month. I want you to have paid for fun. I want people to have paid for fun. I really do. But at this point, again, your dad's literally putting his retirement off to pay for your student loans. Like I need you to just put, you just need to put your, it's just selflessness, over any kind of selfishness. So at that point, I'm probably contributing about 10% to retirement on your own. And then everything else is going to paying off these student loans as quick as possible. So he's putting $2,000 towards it a month, if not more. Then you're putting in an extra $750 towards it on a monthly basis, if not more. And it just really, it's going to still take probably another 3 years total, two to 3 years, but it gives him his retirement that he's worked for in his life, and he chose to sign up for it with the cosign. He did. It is what he chose to do, but it was also for you, so I would do that. And then at that point, honestly, you'll be able to 50, 30, 20, wherever you are in life, whether you found someone else again, whether, we're going full independent. At that point, 50% on needs, which you can do in your situation. You really can if it wasn't for the debt. 50% on needs, 30% on wants, maybe 25% on wants, and 25% investing. People say that, Caleb doesn't think anyone should be able to have fun or anything like that. I don't think so at all. I think when you have horrendous 13% debt, especially that is holding back like relatives from being able to live their life, you're right. You're probably not going out and spending money on fun. You are sacrificing to pay that off. But I'm giving you a substantial percentage of your income to spend on fun once you make the sacrifices necessary to get out of bad debt and have a fully funded emergency fund. I'm giving a larger percentage of fun than, majority of finance creators do. So at that point, you're 50, 25, 25. 50% on needs, 25% on spending on fun, 25% going to retirement so that you yourself also get to have a good retirement. I really think you have a good life ahead of you. This separation probably feels huge, and it is. But in terms of your life and where you are with your minimal expenses because your dad is taking on these payments of your only debt, you can have a fully funded emergency fund in a year, and then 2 to 3 years after that, you and your dad combine killing these insane student loans. I really think you could do that. Maybe 3 to 4 years. It really depends. Yeah, I really think you guys could do that in about 3 years. I really do. So 2 to 4 years, we'll call it 3 on average. I think in 4 years, you and your dad are going to be completely free. You guys had a household financial score of 2 out of 10. I'm going to give you a new Hammer financial score just based on yourself. Spending in a budget. You were spending in your budget. You fucked around a couple times. I wouldn't, but it's not as extreme as many people on the show. It really isn't. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10 because obviously I think we can do better with your current situation, but a 5 out of 10, straight down the middle, solid. Okay, debt. Those student loans are horrendous, 1 out of 10. At least there's nothing in collections or IRS debt. That's what's not holding you. That's why it's not going lower. Retirement. Do you have anything in retirement?
I'm sure I do, like the school. I just haven't really looked at it
How long have you been contributing?
the past 2 years. This will be my 3rd year at the school.
Okay, I'll give it a 2 out of 10. Emergency fund, you have 1 month essentially, 1 out of 10. Well, okay, so that'd be a 2 out of 10. And then real estate, 0 out of 10. For now, you can get in that world in a few years. But your Hammer financial score is going to stay at a 2 out of 10. But that's not household. That's you now. And that's a good place to start. And I think in 1 year, that'll be a 3 or 4. And in 3 or 4 years, you'll be at a 5 or a 6. And you'll be really, making great progress. Now, a question I like to ask everyone who's been on the show, would you recommend other people come on Financial Audit?
It's a good wake-up call if you're really needing a wake-up call to especially your current living situation and how do you get out if you need to figure out a way to get out.
Beautiful. Do you have any final questions, any final thoughts?
Not really, no. Trying to remember.
I think you've got this. I know it feels kind of like a long road, but I really think you got this. Our inbox is always open. We rely on guests to reach out to us versus us reaching out to them. But just because there's just so many. But seriously, if there's anything we can ever connect you with, anything we can ever help with, any questions we can ever answer, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I'm excited to have another follow-up with you in the future.
Absolutely.